If you like the content of this channel, consider supporting us by using patreon.com or using Brave Payments. Click below in the description. What is up, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Rex. This is your Daily Chat, Season 3, Episode 28 for August the 2nd, 2018. How is everybody doing today? What is going on? I have never understood the reason behind the starting soon screen, but it does seem less confusing than boom, I'm online. The primary purpose behind any starting soon screen is one of three reasons. If you are a little bit kind of like, I don't know, how do I say this? If you're a little bit socially awkward and you're about to, like, you know, talk to, in some cases, thousands and thousands of people, it kind of just gets you, like, ready. It's kind of like listening to the fans while you're still behind the curtain. It just gets you kind of amped up and gets you used to, like, dipping your foot into the pool. That's the best way. It's dipping your foot into the pool. Okay, so it kind of gets you going. Second reason is if you are a person who garners viewership, you have time. You give people time to come in. For a lot of streamers, believe it or not, the intro to a stream, like a lot of people have intro videos, like how I have one. I have to edit some stuff out of it. That's why I haven't been playing it lately. But the intro video is actually a big draw for people. People don't want to miss the start of the stream. Missing the intro video for some people is like missing the previews in a movie. Like, if for them the whole thing is ruined if they miss it. So they don't want to miss that moment. And third, it just gives you time to set up. If, like, there's some days when I have the intro screen going, I'll play one or two songs because I'm quickly looking up articles or I'm reading through articles to just understand what I'm about to talk about for the stream. So it's a prep time, dip your toe in time, or just get people in the channel kind of time. I have it. The main reason I haven't been playing it is because I have to remove two sponsors out of the video. Therefore, I have to go find the video. I have to go find the actual After Effects file and make all the changes to it and then re-render it. That's why I haven't been playing it lately, because I'm not sponsored by two of the companies anymore, so they aren't paying me, so I don't want to promote them. Does that make sense? So yeah, so that's the primary reason you have a stream starting soon video. And in fact, one thing that's really cool, one thing I want to start doing is I want to make an outro video too. But that is actually significantly more work and not a job I'm willing to do at this present time. Sorry, there's something in my vocal transformer. Hot moment, guys. Hot moment. I don't know what it is, but because I'm poking with a knife, it's probably dead by now. Would it be? Nope. Takes about 3 hours to make my intro video. Takes about 3 hours. Some of the higher production ones, the ones that are full like CGI, there's no like simplicity in them. They can take weeks to make and cost thousands of dollars to make. I know one streamer who paid well over $1,200 for his intro video. But his intro video is magnificent. I love it. So yeah, but no, to make a new one is not very hard. In fact, the one I have now, I lost the original file and I remade it the day I was going to start streaming with it. Like it's really easy to make because my stuff is just a matter of keyframes and timings. That's all it is. So it's super easy to do. In fact, I don't even think I used After Effects. I think I used Premiere for the whole thing. For me, it's like, boom, I'm online, so I get a few viewers. I don't think it matters. Yeah, it doesn't matter at the low level of streaming. Like my little bottom of the barrel level of streaming, it doesn't matter whether you have one or not. I just do it because it's proper form. Kind of like if you're playing baseball, even if you're playing baseball on like a beer league, it's good to use proper form because you never want to just, you know, go in raw. It's just not the way to do things. So yeah, that's the same reason why I have a Be Right Back screen. You don't need to have a Be Right Back screen. You could just get up and leave your chair, but like this looks way better. Like this looks so much better than just leaving an empty chair. You know what I mean? So the hot news of the day, Apple, apparently the news from yesterday of reporting that Apple could become the first $1 trillion company, got the market so hot and bothered in the undercarriage, it squirted out today the $1 trillion that it needed. So as of today, Apple's market cap is $1 trillion. What does that mean? That means the outstanding shares value is $1 trillion. That does not mean Apple made $1 trillion. Not even close. Do they have $1 trillion in the bank? No, they don't. Apple is a company who is now valued in the market at $1 trillion, but overall, nothing changed today except for the top tier managers who were probably able to begin selling some shares off because of the record high. So you're going to see a lot of this stuff around. A lot of people are hyped only because it's another zero. It's the first time North America has gotten to the 12th zero. And some things you'll notice today, you'll notice that people were mentioning it in two respects. Apple is the world's first $1 trillion company, or Apple is America's first $1 trillion company. And when the first time I heard that statement, that, raised alarm bells, because why are you saying America's first $1 trillion company? Why not the world? And that's because apparently there was a Chinese company whose name I could not obtain for the life of me, who actually hit $1 trillion already, but apparently that company is no longer around, or I don't know what happened to them. But yeah, apparently some company in China was the world's first $1 trillion company, and now this is America's first $1 trillion company. It's a big milestone no matter how you slice it. It's a really cool thing to have obtained. Amazon is nipping right at the heels, though. They're not that far behind. Neither, I think, is... Oh, there was another company. Maybe it was Microsoft? There's another company, though. There's 3 companies that are on track to become $1 trillion companies. So that is really cool. But at the same time, though, this is kind of getting to the point of World of Warcraft levels of number inflation. They're starting to become in a way meaningless to regular people. It's like, yeah, you see 12 zeros, but you can't really understand it, nor does it really do anything for you. But for those of you who are Apple fanboys, I'm sure you were super happy that they reached it first. For everyone else like me, don't care. It wasn't me that made $1 trillion, moving right along. I was happy to see this today. Let's see here. Red, the company that makes those really expensive cameras that they shoot Guardians of the Galaxy on, Red's holographic Hydrogen 1 phone is even closer to a release date with FCC approval. So over a year ago, this company Red, like I said, who makes $100,000 cameras, and by the way, that's their mid-tier line, announced that they are going to be making a phone called the Hydrogen 1, and it was going to have a holographic camera. No one knew what the hell that meant, and to this day, I don't think anyone knows what it means. But the phone did have open pre-orders for $1,195 for the aluminum and $1,595 for the titanium version. Okay? And if you see down here, one serves the Red is going to be pinning 2 unique features on the Hydrogen 1 to help it stand out from the field. There is an attachment which lets the Hydrogen 1 serve as center stage for a larger modular camera setup. So far, there's only one such module announced, an 8K 3D attachment for the camera. Considering buying a Raspberry Pi soon-ish, do you think it would be a good idea for Chatterbait? Can you put Windows on it? What do you want to use it for Chatterbait for? And no. You cannot put Windows on a Raspberry Pi. They are Linux only. Mind you, you can put any flavor of Linux you want, so you can probably put Wine on there, but you cannot put Windows proper on a Raspberry Pi without some back-end finagling that I don't even know if it exists, but I'm just covering my ass in terms of I'm assuming somebody thought of it and probably made it. I just don't know about it. I have a Raspberry Pi. It's sitting on my bar. I bought it last year for Amazon Prime Day. It's not in the box, but it's really, really close to being in the box. It sounds too much trouble then. I don't know why you would want a Raspberry Pi though. Like, what was your main goal for it? Like, what were you wanting to do with it? Oh. I'm finally getting off of my ass and I'm like, actually, really? It's not even green, it's blue. But yeah, I'm finally getting off of my ass and actually starting to review products again. Yeah. This is going to be a comparison of like 3 different webcams. Yay. But yeah, I actually, speaking of my Raspberry Pi, I hooked up the HDMI splitter I bought 2 weeks ago. I hooked it up this evening so I can hook up my Raspberry Pi to my computer. Things are moving. We're moving. The main goal was to be because it's portable, easy to move. Yeah, you can do it. Like words are hard today. I have been tinkering around with the idea of using a Raspberry Pi to stream. I know I mentioned this to you. I think I've mentioned it to Court. But yes, I am looking into using a Raspberry Pi to stream. And yes, you can use a Raspberry Pi to stream open broadcast software. And the fact that all you're doing is running a webcam and a software package, it's a low load. Like, it's easy to do and it's easy to transport. And in that respect, yes, it is absolutely doable. I didn't know if you were wanting to use it for like ancillary software that you were going to use to monitor your stream or do something with your chat. I didn't know what you wanted, but if you just want it to stream on the go, yes, it can do that. And yes, you would be suited to doing it. And if you wait about another year and a half, I will get around to using mine finally. And then I can tell you if that software solution is viable or not. But that's also a year and a half away, so touch and go. So yeah, Red is gonna have their 8K camera on it. Lord knows how much that bastard is gonna cost. It's Red. I guarantee you an 8K 3D attachment will run you like $2,000 to get it. I'm kind of spoiled by my overstream though. I'm not sure I want to stream without it now. Yeah, that's the thing. Once you start really diving in and getting into that software, it becomes really integral to your stream. Like, it drives everything for me. Everything on this screen that you see around me, with the exception of my background, is driven by overstream. The sub counter, all the little names below, the overlay in general, everything is driven by overstream. I don't use OBS for anything more than pushing video feeds and the background. That's it. That's all I use it for now. So yeah, I can absolutely appreciate the fact that it becomes pretty integral to the whole setup. No, it does not run on Linux, and it will not run on Linux for a very long time. And that's contingent on some other business factors. But we do know users want Linux. We are well aware of that, and we will get to it when we can. And if you're wondering why I keep looking at my fingernail, I have some like weird thingy on it, and it's really just one of those annoying factors. So yeah, there we go. Let's see here. $1 trillion company, already covered that. Ooh, here we go. University of Michigan has created a computer, okay, the size of a speck of dust. This right here is a grain of rice for comparison, for scale. Look at that. That is the whole computer right there. This was extraordinarily difficult, said the professor who created it. Extraordinarily difficult. And this is 10 times smaller than the computer IBM put out like a few months ago. Well, it's bedtime. Hit me if you want. I'll try and be nice. I have to get to bed actually very shortly here because I have to go teach in the morning. But yeah, I'll be around all weekend though. But yes, a computer the size of a speck of dust. I know you're wondering, what in the seven hells could you do with a computer the size of a speck of dust? Well, guess what? A lot of this really small crap is used for medical purposes. And they were considering using this computer to measure temperature in cancer cells. I have no idea what that has to do with anything, but it seems like one of those, hey, we can do this, let's do it kind of deals. So yeah, University of Michigan has now created the world's smallest computer. It is 0.3 millimeters by length and width. So that's pretty neat, but it's just really cool tech news to have. And actually, in the final story of tonight, because noticing the time here, the FCC sides with Google Fiber over Comcast for new pro-competition rule. For those of you who are Comcast people, you're probably going to be happy. For those of you who are Google Fiber people or living in a Google Fiber potential city, you are going to be ecstatic about this because the Federal Trade Commission today has approved the new rules that can let Google Fiber and other new ISP providers or ISPs gain faster access to utility poles. To put this all in English for you, and when you want to run lines, you can run them one of two ways: underground, overhead. Okay, underground is extremely expensive because you have to dig it up and put the stuff back the way you found it. Meaning if you're digging up a road, you have to put that road back how you found it, okay? Extraordinarily expensive. Whereas running overhead on the power poles, super cheap. Poles are already there, lines are already there, you just run yours, call it good. Like an eighth of the time, way less of the work, half the workers, it's perfect, it's great. The problem is utility poles are owned by particular companies. So what the current rule is if you wanted to run on the poles, you had to wait for that company to move stuff aside on the poles to give you space on the pole. Well, now with the new FCC ruling, is companies like Google Fiber can come up and just move the stuff for you. Just boop, move that, put yours here. And obviously Comcast is not happy about this, but who cares about Comcast? They're a worthless company anyway. And this is awesome because now that companies and new startups can have just access to a pole, they can start to bring competition to the market. America can actually start to have internet that's not laughably pathetic. They can actually have a market that's not a monopoly or a duopoly, but an actual free market. And I am shocked with Ajit Pai being in the standing that he's in, that he actually let this go through today. But yes, Comcast is not happy. AT&T is probably fuming over this. But I'm sure Google Fiber is just doing cartwheels right now over how great this ruling is from the FCC. So good on Google. Google Fiber is alive and well. I thought they had canned it. I'm apparently wrong. I guess it's just really on hiatus until they can get the rules changed. But lo and behold, we're getting there, Billy. We're getting there. Okay, guys, I gotta take off. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, if you like what you see here, do hit your follow buttons. Hit your subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Other than that, guys, I will see you all later. My name is Arif. This was your Daily Chat, Season 3, Episode 28. Episode 28 for August the 2nd, 2018. Guys, I will see everyone tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a good night.